and trying to find their way through lineups on a consistent one, which they haven't had.
Well, speaking of a young team, lots of young players, led of course by Keyshawn St. Rose, the former TNT youth player. And he will have largely inexperienced cast around him. Leonardo da Costa, Kwame Hegu, Javon Thomas, Shem Closel, among others. And this team, of course, coached by former national team assistant coach Ross Russell, who in fact will be going up against his son, Ross Russell Jr. on the opposite end. Well, speaking of Ross Russell Jr., he's in the lineup this evening. A very familiar looking defensive line for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, with Javon Morris, Caleb Sturge in there. Jesus Perez, he gets a start inside, and they've tampered with the attack somewhat, as they usually do, rotational style. Maurice Dick, the Maruga midfielder, is in, and he will be joined by Ikem Andrews, the TNT Youth International, Isaiah Lee, and Daniel David. Jabari St. Hilaire will start in goal. Dave Kwamina is the coach of this team. Good news, Atula Guerra back on the bench, returning after injury. And for the very first time, Jamal Crichton, the captain, will start on the bench.
Well, from a Central FC perspective,
Competition, a win that will take them up to 26 points. Tyrone Charles, though, did start the dance party going, feeding Ross Jr. And the defender, Hegu, well, he put the ball in the wrong direction, and that made it 1-0. Ross Jr. getting in on the act early, and Hegu, nightmare for him. Pair combined with Da Costa to give an equalizer just before halftime, and then Cristiano Ronaldo celebration. But you can make the song effects for yourself. The other brother, Leonardo da Costa, forced St. Hilaire into some action, and he was up to the task. Then the introduction of Kadeem Corbin. That was one to make it 2-1. Guerra with the assist. And what a goal that was. And then Kadeem Corbin, perhaps the goal of the match. Time to pull his pants up, and he made it 3-1. Yeah, that's gonna make YouTube highlight reels. Ross Russell Jr. certainly showing appreciation. And then came the Guerra show. He made it 4, combining with Ross Jr. And that made it 4-1. Smiles all around for everybody. Ikem tried to get in on the act, and he did successfully from the free kick. He made it 5. Back in form after injury-plagued season. Then Guerra, 1v1. And he made it 2 for him. 6-1 in favor of Terminix Rangers. And then Jesus Perez dilly-dallying, having his pocket picked, and Romario Burke getting a consolation to cut the deficit to 6-2. So Romario Burke finally gets the ball into the back of the net. Too little, too late, as 6-2, the final score. Let's take a look at the statistics for this match, and well, I'm sure we will see that it has been pretty stretched. 25 shots to 15 in favor of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, 19 of which were on target. Of those, 6 went into the goal. 2 fouls compared to 1. No yellow cards, a pretty clean match. No cards issued by Crystal Sobers. 4 offsides to 1, 9 corners to 2. And look at the saves category. 19 saves. She's done a fantastic job. But I tell you what, Brent Sancho is going to be standing by very soon, because he's going to present the man of the match to the man who scored 2 goals. The first of which was this. And then he got another. And the man, the nickname be Trini Ronaldinho, certainly showing his quality at a crucial time in the match, and that's why he will be given our man of the match, courtesy Sportsmax. So big smiles all around as Brent Sancho, one quality player, is awarded by a former quality player And well, he's a new brand commentator who's doing a fantastic job. Atula Guerra, our man of the match.